What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks so much for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, hit that like button while you're at it. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. Let's get into this podversation. I wanted to share people's thoughts, other people's thoughts, and I would love to know yours in the comment section respectfully, because I get it. There are people who are just like, so down for Cardi B. She could do no wrong, no matter what. I really could care less about her and this $4 million judgment, because it's not that she needs the money that bad. And she's just reminding me of one of those creditors that just will not die. And it's like the company has already written the debt off as a bad debt. It was insured. You know, you may not have gotten paid by that person, but you had insurance on the stuff. And then a collection agency, they buys the debt for pennies on the dollar. And then that collection agency, they want to try to get as much money as possible. So they want to take people to court over a debt that they don't even deserve to get, because you purchased this bad debt for pennies on the dollar. And then you want the full amount from this person when that company it didn't even sue. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that Cardi is the same as them, but it's reminding me of one of these creditors or collection agencies, I should say, that just will not die. You really don't need the money. You're just being annoying. And I'm not here to say that Tasha K is broke, but I don't believe that she just has $4 million to just give this woman one full swoop. Like, you want her to live under the bridge, her and her family, to be destitute and die because some things were said about you that were not true, allegedly. I'm just saying, I just don't think that the judgment or the punishment fits the supposed crime, if you will. Because I get it. Punitive damages are supposed to be punishing. But I've said this before in a previous conversation. I feel that the appeal that Tasha K should have filed should have been on the judgment amount. Because companies do that stuff all the time. You can Google it right now. Go out there and Google. There are a number of times when a person may have sued Walmart or, some company or something like that. They had the right to win in court. And the jury awards some outrageous amount, but the company would turn around and file an appeal on the amount that was awarded. And more times than not, it gets lowered. So a lot of times when you hear stories about someone that won a judgment for, I'm just going to give an example, someone that may have burned themselves in a store or on some hot food item or something like that, and you hear that this person won this really large amount, just because you hear that they won that large amount, it doesn't mean that that is actually what they ultimately collected, because most times they have a cap on those. And so the number that they were awarded, it may be large, but it doesn't mean that that's what that person is actually going to get. And other times companies will file an appeal on the amount, and the amount does get lowered. So because when it comes to juries and them awarding those numbers, they don't really know because this is not what they do for a living. It's just not what they do for a living. So I feel that the appeal should have been on the amount and not on what it was actually filed on, because we know that Tasha K did not win the appeal. And so that did not go in her favor. So the next step is to file bankruptcy protection. And people and companies, they do that all of the time, where the amounts of debts that they have, which right now what she has with Cardi B is considered a debt. It is something that, based on what their assets and their revenue or income is, far outweighs what they have coming in and what they have. So filing bankruptcy, even though I don't believe most people want to do it, is something that a lot of times they have to do. And it's called protection for a reason. The full term is bankruptcy protection. It is to protect you from a lot of these ravenous creditors, which at this point in time, Cardi B is a ravenous creditor trying to get this money. And what Cardi B is doing, it costs money to do. So she's spending a lot of money with these lawyers, which they're loving it. They love every time Cardi's like, all right, I want to file this and I want to file that, because they're charging her a lot to do what they're doing, simply because she is Cardi B. And because she is so vengeful, she really doesn't care. So I want to share this story because I want to share what some people have to say about it. Anyway, the story is Cardi B rushed to court to prevent Tasha K from erasing her $4 million debt in bankruptcy court. 3 months ago, Tasha K filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection after Cardi B seized thousands in advertising revenue as part of the $4 million judgment she won in a defamation lawsuit. So I'm going to stop right there for a moment. She's already gotten some money, right? She's already garnished some money. Where does Cardi B think that Tasha K just has a full $4 million just sitting around to give to her? Even when someone wins a judgment, it doesn't mean that is something that they have to pay all at once. Most people, if they had it, they wouldn't have even gotten to that point in the first place, right? So I just wanted to point that out. It's not that she hasn't received anything yet. Anyway, in her lawsuit, Cardi B asked the court not to allow Tasha's debt to be wiped out clean in the bankruptcy, Radar Online has reported. She argued defendant was given multiple opportunities to retract the false and defamatory statements and videos, but defendant steadfastly refused to do so. Court documents obtained by Radar Online shows Tasha K, real name LaTasha Kebe, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in a Florida court in May of this year. Tasha listed her total debt as $1 million to $10 million. She listed her assets as a 2021 Chevrolet Silverado, blah, blah, blah. I'm not even going down the list of the assets that were listed. And then it says that Tasha K was asked if she wired $800,000 to a bank in Africa. Tasha K reportedly denied wiring any cash overseas, and Tasha appeared at a hearing via closed circuit television from her home in Florida. And I don't know about all of that. It says that she was asked about that. This is what I'm going to say, and I'm just going to share what other people had to say in the comment section of the story. If $800,000 was wired to a bank in Africa, one, we know her husband is African. We know that he has family over there. She said it on numerous occasions. If the money was wired, which is $800,000, in the grand scheme of things, $800,000 is definitely not a little bit of money, but it's definitely not close to the $4 million. So it's not like, one, she had millions of dollars that she wired. Two, we know business people, especially big time corporations and companies, they do things like this all of the time. Donald Trump owes multi-millions of dollars in judgments that he is not paying, doesn't want to pay, still trying to get out of, spending more money to try to not pay, which, he's a whole different story, but I'm just using him as an example because it's someone that most people know about and know about most of his court shenanigans and situations. But she and her husband, if he has family in Africa and that's something, if they can show proof that that's stuff that they have done, before, and it's not like, oh, I just opened up an account in Africa and I'm going to wire it, because sometimes that's what people do to try to hide money and assets. But if they can show proof that that's something that they've already had and they've done this in the past, they've done it before, I don't know if Cardi B's attorneys will be able to prove that, oh, well, this is related to this. Of course, I'm going to assume that they're going to try to link it to, oh, well, she's trying to hide money because she owes this, but she owes other stuff too. Cardi is probably the most expensive debt that she owes at this point in time. But based on the debts that she listed, this isn't the only company or person or creditor that she owes. So why can't they just let her set up on a payment plan? And two, the other question I wanted to ask is it too late for Tasha K to request the judgment to be lowered? I'm assuming it is, because she's filed for bankruptcy protection instead of requesting that. But I just feel that she had bad representation. And she's mentioned it a couple of times too. But anyway, I want to share some of the thoughts that other people had in the comment section, because I was just reading some of the comments on this story. And it's like, wow. So someone says Tasha K lost her case and earned a verdict of a $4 million judgment. But under bankruptcy laws, she's entitled to write off debts permitted by the courts. If it's in Tasha's favor, then it's permissible, not because of her lack of remorse or whether she issued an apology. Cardi won her suit and shouldn't be able to sway the courts based on her celebrity, but based on bankruptcy laws. Cardi has skated through her negative actions and her past didn't catch up with her before reaching superstardom. That's one person's comment. Someone else says, thank you. Cardi's white privilege is showing hard. Someone else says, if she wants to pursue her money won in the judgment, that's her right. As it's also Tasha's right to file bankruptcy protection to relieve herself of the debt. And then someone responded to that comment and they said, amen. Someone else says, this is becoming pettier by the day. Move on already. F the principle of the matter. She can't give what she doesn't have. She doesn't have it, but you do. So definitely that was a comment pointed towards Cardi B. And that's actually, based on what I have said before, how I feel. Pretty much in a nutshell, because this is what I said before. If she doesn't have it, how much money are you going to spend ultimately overall trying to collect money that she does not have? Tasha K may be a very popular person on YouTube. She definitely gets the interviews. She has her app. I am not mad at her for doing what she's doing, because, after that lawsuit happened and the judgment came down, and when she did that public statement that she did on her channel and then she started losing subscribers, I didn't unsubscribe. I'm subscribed to a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of people, because I do support a lot of different people all across different genres. I don't just watch gossip content and entertaining things. I watch political things. I watch inspirational things, spiritual things. All across the gamut. So I'm not just in one genre. So there's a lot of people that I am subscribed to on YouTube, and I have been for many years. It would take a lot for me to unsubscribe from someone's channel because, one, I don't even see everyone's content all of the time. So I didn't feel that was necessary. And a lot of people who unsubscribed, they resubscribed. But I'm saying I felt like she was broken at that time, and she probably was. But I did not want to see her just lose her entire platform and not do what I feel she loves to do. And to see her, in my opinion, get back up and keep moving forward. I love stories like that. I love to see people bounce back and keep moving forward. Right or wrong. No, I don't like everybody to do that, because someone like Martell from Love and Marriage Huntsville, I can't stand him, and I love to see him lose. I love to see that nothing is working out for him, because he doesn't deserve anything good, because he was extremely malicious. I will never compare someone like Tasha K to someone like that trash bag, because he destroyed his family. He's just trash. He's just a terrible person, and still attempts to do that even after his ex-wife chose to leave him. Tasha K, even if the statements that she made on her channel about Cardi B hurt Cardi B's feelings, I truly just, in my opinion, I believe that it was played up. I believe that it was played up for the courts. I don't believe that the things that Tasha K said drove Cardi B into depression and thoughts of taking her own life and stuff like that. To see how she operates, I just don't believe that. I personally don't believe that. You can believe what you want. I can believe what I want. In my personal opinion, I don't believe that anything Tasha K said. I'm not saying that it was right, but I'm saying I don't believe that anything that she said caused someone like Cardi B to be suicidal and be on someone's couch in therapy based on how she operates. I can say that based on the character of how she operates, that I don't believe that. I believe that it was played up for the courts, and I do believe that celebrity won in the courts that day. That's my personal opinion. You can believe what you want, and I can believe what I want. So with that being said, yeah, a lot of people are just wanting to know, like, okay, how long is this going to go on? And not a lot of people think that, yeah, well, Tasha K, she earned it. She deserves it. She's a glutton for punishment. It's her fault. She wrote a check that her ass can't cash. All the other things that, people love to say. But someone else made another comment and it said, I don't understand why she can't accept an apology and move on. I get it. She spoke negative and lied on her, but I honestly don't think it was all a lie. But I'm sure she heard worser names than that when she was on a poll. And if you're so rich, why take from someone who really has nothing like you do? And then another person commented on that comment and said, it's funny, Cardi didn't go after the person that Tasha K was interviewing about it that initially said all of these things. And that is really true. But anyway, I just wanted to share some of the comments and what some people are saying about it. You can leave your thoughts respectfully in the comment section. I ain't going back and forth with anybody. My opinions are my opinions. I'm not here to cape for anybody. I'm just here to share my thoughts and views and opinions about things that I choose to talk about. And that's it. Thankfully, I don't have a dog in the fight. I have my own life situations and issues. So I definitely don't need to have a part in that. But I understand from the space of being someone who has sued someone and got a judgment against them that I could not collect on. I understand what that feels like. It definitely wasn't for $4 million. Okay. I sued someone who didn't finish some work at my home years ago. And anyway, sued them in court, won, got a default judgment because, of course, the person didn't show up. And of course, I wanted my money, but to collect on it, it just wasn't really worth it. So yeah, I had an uncollectible judgment and I just had to put it in God's hand and say, okay, God, well, I believe that person will get their just due when it's time. And I'll let you fight that battle because you can win battles bigger and better than what I ever could and better than in any court situation. So if Cardi really believes in God like she says that she does, then let God deal with Tasha K. And I'm not saying that she should wish harm on her or anything like that. But I believe, live in a world where we live by seed time and harvest time. What we sow, we ultimately will reap. And also, I do believe that there is grace, and that you can express remorse, which I have seen. I have seen Tasha do it, but she also is a gossip blogger. And if there's something that comes up that she's going to want to talk about, she's going to do it. So I don't know if people were just expecting her to just completely change and do like a home design channel or something like that. But this is what she has grown in doing. This is what she enjoys doing, gossiping, drinking wine, and making fun of situations and people sometimes. And apparently a lot of people love it too. So I just wanted to talk about that. But yeah, it just seems that Cardi B is just not going to let up. She is that zombie debt collector that just will not die. And it's just like, leave me alone. Okay. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.